The landscape of wildlife and sports photography is about to be hit by a seismic shift that very few people saw coming. For years, the debate has raged between the raw power of full-frame sensors and the incredible reach of APS-C. But what if you didn't have to choose? What if a single camera could bridge that gap, offering flagship-level speed, insane resolution, and the kind of autofocus that feels like it's reading your mind? We are standing on the precipice of the most important APS-C release in history. The leaks have moved past mere whispers and into the realm of confirmed FCC filings and internal testing. The Canon EOS R7 Mark II isn't just an incremental update. It is a declaration of war against every other crop sensor camera on the market. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to tear down every single leak, every confirmed spec, and the shocking pricing strategy that Canon is preparing for 2026. This is the ultimate breakdown of the camera that might finally make you sell your full-frame gear. When the original EOS R7 launched, it was a revelation. It brought 32.5 megapixels and 30 frames per second to a body that cost less than $1,500. But it wasn't perfect. It suffered from a rolling shutter that could turn a bird's wing into a jelly-like mess. And the ergonomics felt like a departure from the Pro 7 series heritage we loved in the DSLR days. Canon has heard the critics. The R7 Mark II is being built as a mini R1. According to the most reliable leaks from insiders who have actually seen the prototypes in Milan and Tokyo, the heart of this beast is a brand new 39 to 40 megapixel BSI stacked CMOS sensor. Now let's pause there because that word stacked changes everything. In the past, stacked sensors were reserved for $5,000 flagships like the R3 or the R1. By bringing a stacked architecture to the R7 line, Canon is effectively eliminating the rolling shutter issue. This means you can shoot at 40 frames per second in total silence, with zero distortion. For a wildlife photographer trying to capture a kingfisher diving or a sports shooter tracking a 100-meter sprint, this is the holy grail of technology. But the sensor is only half the story. The processing power required to handle 40 megapixels at those speeds is immense. The leaks suggest the R7 Mark II will utilize the Digic Accelerator system, the same dual-processor architecture found in the new R5 Mark II. This isn't just about speed, it's about intelligence. We are looking at a new action priority, autofocus mode. Imagine you're at a football game. The camera doesn't just track the person with the ball. It recognizes the action of a pass or a tackle and shifts focus instantly to the most dramatic moment. It's AI-driven subject tracking on a level we've never seen in a crop sensor body. The animal eye detection is reportedly being tuned to recognize even more species, including insects and complex bird in-flight patterns against busy backgrounds. If you've ever struggled with your camera losing focus when a bird flies behind a branch, the R7 Mark II is designed to solve that problem forever. The physical build of the camera is also undergoing a massive transformation. The original R7 was criticized for its unique rear dial and joystick placement. Leaked body schematics show that Canon is returning to a more traditional, professional layout. The R7 Mark II will feature a larger, more robust chassis that looks and feels like a mini R6 Mark III. We are talking about a deeper grip for those heavy 600mm and 800mm lenses, a dedicated AF on button that feels tactile, and, most importantly, the return of a high-resolution EVF. One of the biggest complaints about the current R7 is the 2.36 million viewfinder. It's fine, but it's not pro. The Mark II is rumored to jump to a 3.69 million or even a 5.76 million OLED panel with a 120 Hz refresh rate. When you're tracking a fast-moving subject, a blackout-free, high-res viewfinder is the difference between getting the shot and coming home with a blurry memory. Now, let's talk about the video side of things, because this is where the R7 Mark II starts to look like a full-blown cinema camera. The stacked 40-megapixel sensor allows for something truly special: 8K video. Yes, you heard that right. An APS-C camera capable of 8K 30p internal recording. But even if you don't need 8K, the benefits trickle down. You'll be getting 4K 60p and 4K 120p over sampled fro. That massive 8K canvas, meaning the sharpness and detail will be unrivaled in this price bracket. To handle the heat of 8K recording, the body is being designed with passive cooling vents, similar to the R5 Mark II. There is even talk of a dedicated cooling fan grip accessory that will allow for unlimited recording times in high ambient temperatures. For the hybrid creator who needs a B-cam for their cinema line or a primary camera for high-end YouTube documentaries, the R7 Mark II is checking every single box. It's expected to include Canon Log 3, HDR-PQ, and 10-bit 4:2:2 internal recording as standard. One of the most exciting under-the-hood leaks involves the storage and connectivity. To support 40 frames per second RAW bursts and 8K video, the R7 Mark II is finally ditching the dual SD card setup in favor of a CF Express Type B and SD UHS-2 combo. This is a massive win for professionals. CF Express cards are virtually unkillable and offer the right speeds necessary to clear a massive buffer in seconds. You'll no longer be waiting for your camera to breath after a long burst of action. Additionally, the in-body image stabilization, IBIS, is being rated at a staggering 8.5 stops of compensation. When paired with an RFS or RF lens, you'll be able to shoot handheld at shutter speeds that were previously impossible. Imagine shooting a waterfall at half a second handheld and getting a tack-sharp image. That is the level of stability Canon is aiming for. So, when can you actually get your hands on this masterpiece? The timeline is becoming very clear. While many hoped for a late 2025 release, the most recent reports and shipping data suggest an official announcement in the first half of 2026. Specifically, keep your eyes on the CP Plus show in February or a standalone event in March 2026. Canon is currently focusing its production on the R6 Mark III, but the R7 Mark II is next in line. It's already in the wild, being tested by a small group of Canon explorers of light in real-world wildlife scenarios. As for the price, this is where the conversation gets interesting. With a stacked sensor and flagship AF, the R7 Mark II cannot stay at the $1,499 price point. Rumors suggest a launch price between $1,999 and $2,299. Now, before you gasp at that price for a crop camera, remember what you're getting. A 40 frames per second, 8K capable, AI-driven speed demon that rivals cameras costing $5,000. For the wildlife enthusiast who wants the 1.6x crop factor reach, but doesn't want to compromise on pro features, $2,000 is actually a bargain. The R7 Mark II represents a pivotal moment for Canon. They aren't just making a better camera, they are redefining what the 7 series means in the mirrorless age. It is the spiritual successor to the legendary 7D Mark II, a camera that was once the backbone of sports and bird photography worldwide. By combining high-resolution megapixels with a stacked sensor, Canon is solving the age-old problem of reach versus quality. You no longer need a 50-megapixel full-frame body and a massive crop to get the detail you need. You can get it natively with the R7 Mark II. This camera is built for the person who spends their mornings in a blind waiting for a rare eagle, the person on the sidelines of a rainy high school football game, and the filmmaker who needs a portable 8K powerhouse.